Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. And they have just announced the nominations for the 2026 Grammy Awards. And to get straight to the point, you know what that means. I'm going to go over the nominations for the major categories where I, really have some investment. I'm going to pick my personal favorites and then make some predictions too if I feel like, the actual award itself won't go in that direction. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to do, so let's do it. All right, Grammy nomination time. Here's the list. Let us start with the general field record of the year. Pretty big one, obviously, with a bunch of huge songs nominated. We've got DTMF from Bad Bunny, Man Child, Sabrina Carpenter, Anxiety, Doechii, Wildflower, Billie Eilish, Abracadabra, Lady Gaga, Luther, The Subway, and the Rose and Bruno Mars crossover. And to be completely honest, this is a pretty impressive and enjoyable field of songs. I think the only track that I didn't really revisit at some point is the Rose and Bruno Mars cut. I just really got nothing out of that song, honestly. Personally, I would like to see it go to Kendrick Lamar and SZA. I think Luther is an absolutely amazing track, and there is absolutely a reason the song has lasted on the charts for as long as it did. But to be honest, there is some pretty tight competition happening in this category with immensely popular songs from Sabrina, Doechii, and Billie, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it go to either of those. And while I do like the Lady Gaga and Chappell Roan tracks, neither are anywhere close to like their best work, so I have a hard time kind of envisioning it going in that direction. Next, we have the album of the year category, which involves Bad Bunny, Justin Bieber, Sabrina Carpenter, Clips, Pusha T and Malice, Lady Gaga, Kendrick Lamar, Leon Thomas, and then at the very bottom, Tyler with Chromacopia, which, huge field and some massive favorites in here. Obviously, GNX was my rap record of the year last year. The Clips record is very much my rap record of the year this year. I definitely prefer that one slightly, having given it a 10 out of 10. Meanwhile, Tyler and Bad Bunny are kind of tied for third in terms of preference here out of this list. If we are going to go a pop direction, though, with this award, I think Lady Gaga made the most solid of the bunch. The Sabrina record just feels like so much leftover stuff from her last album, and the Justin Bieber swag cycle, as good as some of the highlights were in the midst of that, between the two records, it's far too bloated. Again, would love to see it go to Clips, would love to see it go to Kendrick, and we know how much the Grammys love Kendrick these days. So like that very much could be in the cards. However, how exciting would it be to see Bad Bunny get this award, especially off of such a strong, consistent, creative album with some amazing messaging at the heart of it too. With him continuing to be one of the most widely popular artists on the planet today, I actually wouldn't be surprised to see Bad Bunny get it. Moving on, we have Song of the Year, Abracadabra, Anxiety, Bruno Mars and Rose again, Bad Bunny once more, and we have Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters as well in the mix. Luther, Manchild, Wildflower. Yeah, a lot of what I said in terms of record of the year applies here in terms of preference, but honestly, K-pop Demon Hunters has seriously been like a force to be reckoned with in the music industry this year, and the Grammys love a success story, so I wouldn't be too surprised, even considering how much Kendrick and Billie Eilish have historically been like Grammy magnets. Now we've got the Best New Artist category. Olivia Dean, Cat's Eye, The Marias, Addison Rae, Somber, Leon Thomas, Alex Warren, Lola Young. I gotta say, in terms of like all their recent output, I don't really have like a supreme favorite in this field. I mean, I did like a lot of the songs off the Somber record. I see a lot of potential going forward in Addison Rae's work, even if I didn't love her new album. There are some good cuts on the Marias album too. I don't know. I think the coolest win here would actually be the Marias, in fact. Either that or Cat's Eye, because that gnarly track is a banger. Shout out to Alice Longu Gao. But I wouldn't be surprised to see it either go to Addison Rae or Somber or Alex Warren, considering all the buzz they have amassed over the past 6 months or so. Now we've got the Producer of the Year category, Dan Auerbach. We've got Circuit, we've got Dijon, we've got Blake Mills and Soundwave, Wow. Crazy to see Soundwave in the mix there with only GNX as, his only like submitted credit. But I mean, I don't know. It is that great of a record. Blake Mills was also, though, as I just kind of said, putting in work on a lot of records that I enjoyed and talked about this year, from Lucy Dacus to The Japanese Breakfast. And I have really been enjoying Dijon's work this year. I mean, as messy as the Swag album cycle was, Dijon, McGee, that whole sort of like bedroom R&B, bedroom pop world, like, Justin really was kind of pulling on that to reinvent his sound. And it really did lead to a lot of the best moments on that record. And Dijon's album as well this year was pretty impressive production-wise. Circuit also doing a lot of impressive stuff this year. And Dan, I didn't even know was putting in this much work over the past year plus. I mean, obviously, he's always locked in with that Black Keys production, but damn, I didn't know he had his fingerprints all over all these albums. Dan is really putting in work, and it's interesting to see a year where Jack Antonoff is not nominated. Personal preference, I would like to see it go to Dijon or Soundwave, but, Circuit could get hit with this award for sure. We'll just have to see. Songwriter of the year, we've got Amy Allen, Edgar Barrera, Jesse Joe Dillon, Tobias Jesso Jr., and Laura Veltz, who apparently was putting in a lot of work on that Jessie Murph record, which I'm surprised anybody was helping her write that album. It sounds that thrown together. So I'm not so much sure about that one, honestly. Tobias's work, though, consistently I found to be pretty impressive, from the Miley to the Justin Bieber to the Dijon. And given the rest of the field here, honestly, I think I'm probably going to go in that direction, though some of those Amy Allen, Sabrina Carpenter tracks were hitting. Yeah, I'm just going to say personal preference here is definitely Tobias. All right, moving into the first major field here, we've got pop and dance / electronic all under one roof, I guess, with best pop solo performance. Daisies, Manchild, Disease, The Subway, and Messy, 'cause I'm so messy. I think my favorite track of this bunch has gotta be either Manchild or The Subway. They're all decently good songs, though. I just feel like Justin Bieber is not having a super strong year. Neither is Lady Gaga. Maybe I'm wrong. And as beloved as Chapel is by the Academy these days, I do think Sabrina Carpenter is potentially a major threat in some categories. I think I'm going to go with Manchild on this one as far as personal preference, and I think she's even likely to win. Best pop duo / group performance, we have Defying Gravity from Wicked. Also, the K-pop Demon Hunters Golden track again. Gabriella Katsai, Rose and Bruno Mars, and 30 for 30, SZA and Kendrick Lamar. Okay, damn, I wanted to go there, actually. Like, 30 for 30 is one of my favorite songs of the year, and I'm kind of surprised that track didn't go as hard on the charts as Luther did, considering how good it is. Yeah, I'm going with that one, even though, personally, I do think K-pop Demon Hunters is a major threat in some of these categories this year. Best pop vocal album out of this bunch? Oh, I'm going Miley all the way. Not only are Miley's vocal performances on Something Beautiful incredible, but I think that's her best album ever in terms of songwriting, in terms of production and instrumentals. It's a really passionate, ambitious album. And I would say the Lady Gaga is a close second in terms of like thematics and consistency and great performances and great instrumentals. Everything else falters in comparison to those records in my mind. They're just not nearly as, again, consistent and well thought through, or bold and interesting too. Best dance and electronic music recording, we have Disclosure and Anderson .Paak with No Cap. Fred Again with Skepta and Plaqueboy Max, Victory Lap, that's a bop. Kaytranada, Space Invader, Skrillex, Voltage, Tame Impala, End of Summer. I think out of this bunch, I might prefer the Skrillex, believe it or not. His latest album was very fun and very entertaining. Disclosure and Fred Again are very close, I would say, but personal preference again is definitely Skrillex here. Best dance pop recording, Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco for Bluest Flame. No, God. Abracadabra, Lady Gaga, Zara Larsson, Midnight Sun, Tate McRae, And Pink Pantheress, Illegal. I hope it doesn't go to Tate or Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco on this one. Those are such bland, unmemorable records. From the F1 movie, seriously? There are some bops on the Zara Larsson record for sure, but is Midnight Sun one of the most memorable in my opinion? No. I think it's likely Lady Gaga could win on this one, but personally would love to see it go to Pink Pantheress because Illegal has really grown on me. It is such a bopperino. And I feel like the image of Pink Pantheress, like holding a Grammy, it could heal the world. It could heal the world, honestly. All right, best dance and electronic album. We have the FKA Twigs record, Fred Again, with 10 Days, the Pink Pantheress, the Rufus Du Sol, the Skrillex 2. Out of this field, I enjoyed the FKA Twigs album the most. I truly did. I felt like that was the most consistent in quality over all of them. Will it go to Twigs though? I don't know if she has like kind of the industry pull to make that happen. How many of the people voting have actually heard You Sexual all the way through? I mean, if they have, I would hope they'd be impressed. But it might end up going to Pink Pantheress or Skrillex. And as much as I do like Fred Again as a producer in some context, 10 Days is such an underwhelming record. I hope it doesn't go in that direction. But again, Skrillex could be a fun pick in this category. All right, let's go to rock, metal, and alternative music. With best rock performance, we got You Should Not Be Doing That with Amyl and the Sniffers, The Emptiness Machine, Linkin Park, Turnstile, Never Enough, Hayley Williams, Mirtazapine, that was really good quality highlight from her record, and Youngblood in the mix too, with Changes. Back to the beginning. I think my favorite out of the bunch here has to be the Amyl and the Sniffers track. I'm going there, I'm pulling for them, and I'm hoping it's not the Linkin Park song. I mean, it's such a bland track, God. Like, given their influence and given their pull, like there's a high likelihood it's going in that direction. But honestly, I wouldn't be unhappy with Turnstile or Hayley Williams too. Like, those are perfectly good tracks. Best metal performance, we've got Dream Theater with Night Terror, Ghost, Lacrima, Sleep Token, Spirit Box, Turnstile again. Okay, Turnstile, they're still, hardcore enough to get a metal performance nod, it seems. Them and Ghost, I think, are probably my favorites out of this field. It could be cool to see it go to Ghost, frankly. I feel like Lacrima is definitely like a more proper metal experience, even if it's not like my favorite Ghost album. But God, am I going to just like flip upside down and sideways and in every direction if Sleep Token nails it down. And, they just might end up doing it. God, what a boring record. All right, best rock song. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for the, Tron soundtrack and all that. We have Sleep Token again for Caramel. See, it's stuck in my head. Hayley Williams, Glum, Never Enough Again from Turnstile, and Youngblood with Zombie. Yeah, I mean, Hayley Williams, Turnstile would be amazing gets in this category, but there's just like some massive industry, competition coming from Sleep Token and Nine Inch Nails on this one, to be frank. All right, continuing on best rock album, we have the new Deftones record, new Haim record, new Linkin Park record, new Turnstile, new Youngblood. Deftones was personally my favorite out of this bunch. And I do think that they probably provide like the most competition artistically and commercially too. Like Deftones are definitely like just a force to be reckoned with in the rock side of the music industry right now. I mean, obviously Linkin Park is a huge presence that cannot be denied, but it seems like pretty widely the new Deftones record has been getting like a lot of love, a lot of praise, and for good reason. The guitar tones and the songs are just some of the best the band has put out in years. Best alternative music performance, Everything is Peaceful Love, Bon Iver, The Cure, Alone, Turnstile, Seeing Stars, Wet Leg, Mange Tout, and Hayley Williams, Parachute. I think my personal favorite out of this bunch has got to be the Bon Iver, his new record, Sable Fable, which is also, as you can see on the screen, Best Alternative Music Album, nominated over there, is one of my favorites of the year. Just a beautiful record. But I mean, The Cure obviously had a great comeback on their new record, a very quality album. And, the other three nominations are nothing to sneeze at either. Again, personal preference, I would go Bon Iver, but, there might be something in what The Cure did and what Wet Leg and what Hayley Williams did this year that'll most likely, I think, pull the award more in their direction. I mean, Bon Iver is definitely like, no stranger to a Grammy, that is sure. But did he make as many cultural waves as I think like, The Cure and Haley Williams and Wet Leg did in 2025? Not necessarily. All right, best alternative music album. Out of this bunch, I think my preference is, again, the Bon Iver Sable Fable, with Tyler, the Creator, coming through at a close second. We've also got The Cure, again, Wet Leg, and Haley Williams in the mix once more. Again, all very solid and respectable submissions and nominations. And again, very surprising to see Tyler, the Creator, in the mix, with Don't Tap the Glass being as hip-hop, flavored as it is. It's kind of interesting to see the alternative music album category being broadened a little bit, I guess you could say. You can credit Tyler with that. But I think my picks are Bon Iver. My picks are Tyler. But still, wouldn't be surprised to see it go to The Cure on this one. All right, here we have Field 3 Rap R&B Spoken Word 2 with Best R&B Performance. Justin Bieber, Chris Brown, Kalani, Leon Thomas, and Summer Walker on a variety of tracks. Wow, we're even counting a live from NPR's Tiny Desk cut in the mix. I mean, that's fair. That's fine. Why not? It's 2025. I don't know. I'm thinking like personal preference, Justin, or Summer Walker on this one. Traditional R&B performance, we've got Duran Bernard, Lala Hathaway, Ladisi, SZA, and Leon Thomas. I think I'm probably going to go SZA on this one. Best R&B song, many of the usual suspects again, and I think I'm going with Summer Walker one more time. And best progressive R&B album, a category that to my eyes and ears gets more and more confusing every year in terms of like what it's encompassing and why it's there. Like, for example, does the Terrace Martin and Kenyon Dixon record here make sense? Yeah, I would say so, as well as Bilal. But simultaneously, like that Flow record, Access All Areas, there's a very kind of classic, traditional, as it were, like 90s, 2000s R&B flavor to that record. Is that progressive? I mean, there's some very good songs on here, and there are some talented artists in this category, but again, I just like come away from this category not knowing what to go with outside of just the artists that I like, because I don't know by what metrics anybody's judging a progressive R&B album. I guess I'm just a little confused because I feel like there are some names and some records and some talent that is just being a little overlooked in these categories this past year. I mean, for example, the Nourished by Time album did happen to like drop a little late into 2025, but like, did that not make the cut? Did the Doja Cat record drop too late in the year? I know there's like a lot of synth pop tracks on that record, but there's a lot of like R&B and Prince influence on that album as well. So is V not being considered or counted? Is that going to be the Grammys in 2027? Or Rochelle Jordan, if in fact her new record would actually like make the cut time-wise for a Grammy nomination for 2025, why is that not being considered? And furthermore, like we have Dijon obviously being considered for some of the categories previously in the video. Was his new album and was his work not submitted as well for these R&B categories? His work definitely does cross over into R&B. Like it was one of the neatest and most notable R&B aligned releases of the year. Like, where's the Dijon? So I don't know. I'm a little stumped on these categories this year, frankly. Moving on to best rap performance, we have Cardi B with Outside, Chains and Whips with Clips, Doechii Anxiety, Kendrick TV Off, and Darling I from Tyler, the Creator. Personal preference is the Clips track, and I don't know. I mean, while that song is great, big competition is going to come from Doechii, Kendrick, and Tyler, and I wouldn't really be surprised to see it go in the Kendrick direction, but like my fingers are crossed for Clips. Best melodic rap performance, we have Friday with Meek Mill, Jid and Ty Dolla $ign in Black, Kendrick Lamar with SZA, Terrace Martin and Kenyon Dixon with Rhapsody, and Party Next Door and Drake with Somebody Loves Me, which has got to be the weakest song of the bunch. Come on. give it to Luther. It's an incredible track. Who are we kidding? It's the best one here, as much as I do like, you know, JID. And it's the one that has held the most like significance commercially over the last year too. So why the hell not? I feel like anything else other than that option in this category would be robbery. Best rap song, we've got Anxiety. We've got The Birds Don't Sing from Clips. We've got Sticky from Tyler, the Creator, which I love that track off of Chromacopia. That's a wild freaking banger. TGF with Glorilla, which is pretty fun. And TV Off once again. The Birds Don't Sing is my personal preference, though, again, given the popularity of TV Off and Anxiety, would not be surprised to see it go there. What are the Grammys if not at least a little bit of a popularity contest? Best rap album, you guys have seen these names, you've seen these records, you've seen me talk about many of them. I'm going once again with Clips. I gave it a 10. Who are we kidding? I would like to get into a few of the country categories over here, saying I would love to see Nose on the Grindstone from Tyler Childers get Best Country Solo Performance. Best Country Song Bitin' List from Tyler Childers would also be amazing, frankly. That song is too fun not to give an award. And as I talked about previously in a video, we now have these not like Best Country Album category anymore. We now have Best Traditional Country and Best Contemporary Country Album categories. It's like split in two. And as I kind of like presumed in the traditional country category, we have Charlie Crockett, because I mean, his music sounds traditional as hell. And he does have some cute tracks on that record for sure. Then we've also got Lucas Nelson, Willie Nelson, Margot Price, Zach Top. I mean, are all of those records like the most traditional in the world? No, but you know, they're certainly not as pop and R&B centric as some recent country albums are, I guess. I guess Charlie Crockett would be a fun choice for this category. But then with the Best Contemporary Country Album category, I don't know. It's a really interesting range. You've got the Jelly Roll record in there. You've got the Miranda Lambert record in there, which, like, you know, when it comes to like super modern commercial country standards, I feel like those artists like kind of define the wave a bit. But then you've got Tyler Childers in there, which, I mean, there are a lot of elements of Snipe Hunter that are quite traditional to my ears. I mean, the elements that do feel newer and feel kind of progressive and more experimental and contemporary, as it were, are the elements of rock that are fused in. But like country rock is nothing new. Like the idea of fusing rock with country has been around for decades and decades at this point. So again, like, what is the cutoff for what is and is not like traditional to the ears of the Grammys Academy when we're deciding like what country aesthetics are old school and what aren't? Because, you know, over the Tyler Childers record, there's a lot of like live instrumentation and folksy instrumental palettes outside of the tracks toward the end of the album where he's like doing some nods toward Hinduism, but still. Moving on to some of the Latin categories, I would love to see Natalia Lafourcade get Best Latin Pop Album for Cancionera. Beautiful record, fantastic record, not reinventing her sound or style or anything like that, but still an incredible album. An okay record for Natalia is like still pretty fantastic by normal album standards. Best Musica Urbana album with Bad Bunny in the mix with Debí Tirar Más Fotos would be fantastic. Love that record quite a bit, and by actually quite a far margin comparing it to much of everything else here that I've heard in passing. Oh yeah, and we've got the Best Music Video category this year too, which I would love to actually see Clips get it for So Be It. That music video looks like a freaking nightmare. It's shot so well, and the black and white composition is just incredible. Though the Man-Child music video is like very hokey, very campy, very fun, very over the top. Wouldn't mind Sabrina Carpenter getting it there too. Oh, and we have the Best Album Cover category this year with Chromacopia, the Joe record, Bad Bunny, Perfume Genius, and Wet Leg Moisturizer. These are very odd album cover choices, honestly. I mean, some of these don't even rank for me, like the Joe record. And, you know, I know there's going to be a lot of people that like get up my ass for this, but like, I'm not crazy about the Bad Bunny album cover, frankly. Like, I feel like it does what it needs to do. And when you sort of like understand it within the context of the music, like, you kind of get it, like, but visually, is it still a stunning album cover? Is it an interesting album cover just based on the simple context of it as an album cover? To my eyes, no. I don't know. To me, I kind of prefer the Perfume Genius and Wet Leg album covers out of all of these, especially the Wet Leg one because it's so off-putting and weird. I don't know. Hard to kind of judge what is exactly the best out of this bunch, but I mean, I guess I'll say like the Wet Leg album cover to my eyes was at least the most striking. You know, it's the one that keeps me up at night the most, imagining that, that is my paralysis demon right there. Got the best engineered album, non-classical, with Japanese Breakfast and Blake Mills in the mix. The Japanese Breakfast record is pretty pristine. But there's some really clear and punchy sounds on that Blake and Pino record too. So I don't know, one of those could be great. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there for now for all of my Grammys opinions and everything like that. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments about all of this. I'm sure you will. There you have it, the 2026 Grammy Awards nominations, my thoughts, my opinions, my preferences, some of my predictions. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. I'm sure you will. And Grammys, music, awards, Anthony Fantano, forever.